Hi, I'm Shreeya Modi. I am currently pursuing my bachelor's in commerce from 𝗪𝗂𝗄𝗃 Gujarati College, and I scored 98.35 percentile in CAT 2024. Talking about my journey, I did appear for IPM. However, it did not go well because I did not give enough time and efforts to it. I was not consistent over there, and I decided that I will give my best to CAT so that I can rectify that mistake. Discussing about CAT, I joined CH in November 2023, and they have modules in which first they teach Ignite, which is the basics, and then they go on to Accelerate, which have theta and pi. Talking about this module, I appreciate the fact that they focus on basics first, because without a good strength on your basics, you cannot go on to do difficult questions well. You could try it, but it will not be as good of an effort as when you completely understand your basics. Talking about the different sections, VA, DILR and QA. So for VA, I would say it has been my strength. Entering into CAT, I knew it was my strength. I have always been interested in reading, and English is something that really interests me. DILR, I would say, is something that is I really found it interesting, solving puzzles, doing the LR questions, all of it was very interesting. And QA is something that has always scared me to an extent. Maths is, I would say, very intimidating. What you enter and what CAT actually is are two very different things. Even if VA was my strength, I needed to work hard on it, because if you are good at English, that does not mean you are good at aptitude. You need to work on your aptitude. And when it comes to English, you need to solve a certain amount of RCs so that you can sit and analyze where you are going wrong and where you are going right. Without any amount of data and a decent amount of RC solved, you cannot actually sit and say that, yeah, I'm going on this path. Data is very important. Akash sir says that, and I firmly believe that. Secondly, I would say for DILR of CAT is very, very difficult, I would say. So you do need to put a lot of consistent efforts in it. I remember there were days in my preparation where from the morning to evening, I would be able to do, I think, 4 or 5 sets, and each set would take me a minimum of 1 to 1.5 hours. And I would sit and do that. It was very frustrating, but when you keep doing it, there does come a point where you get better on it. So I would say for DILR, you get worse, then you get better, but you need to be willing to get worse over there. You do not have to be scared that, okay, if it's going bad, then maybe I'm going in the wrong direction. Working on something, as Akash sir says, you will first be thrown to the extremes. That's how the graph works, and then it stabilizes itself. Talking about QA, I do like maths to an extent, but yeah, as I said, I'm not confident about it. So QA, what I would say is, firstly, do not make yourself feel good by just solving just the easy questions. CAT is not about the easy questions, it's about solving the difficult ones. Secondly, I would say, just do the topics that you do not like, because what we tend to do as students is we pick the topics we like and we keep delaying the topics that we don't like, which is not the smart strategy. If there are, I would say, 25 topics of QA, then we would like at most 5 to 7 of them. Then the remaining ones that we don't like, or some of them we even hate, they are just left aside. So for CAT QA preparation, I would say pick the topics that you do not like first and try to check them off. Another thing I would say, this goes without saying, attend your classes, be regular, do whatever your teacher is asking you to do, because believe me, they know what is to be done. It does sound like they are maybe assigning you a lot of work, or maybe they expect you to do too much, or whatever. There are a lot of excuses to not listen to your teacher, but if you want to do it, just listen to what they say and do whatever they say. Talking about my CAT journey, I started out in November 2023 and my CAT was in November 2024. That was a decent amount of time for preparation. However, I would take breaks in between. The biggest break that I took was my brother's wedding in July, for which I took, I think, a whole month. And when I started out in November, and after my basics, I had given my first mock on, I remember it was February 17, 2024. Yeah, I think it was that. I'm not 100% sure. But when I gave that mock, I scored the highest marks on the coaching. And that was a very big thrill for me to be scoring the highest marks on the first mock. And when I talked to Saurabh sir about it, he said that, yeah, you're going in S1, just keep putting in consistent efforts. And he gave me a structure on what to study and how much to study every day. Then talking about my brother's wedding, when I came back from the wedding and I gave my mock, like the next mock after that, I think I scored my worst marks ever during that timeline, especially in VA, which is my strong area and which has been my biggest contributor to my total marks. It is also the biggest contributor to my final CAT marks, and I scored the worst in my VA section after that break. So after that break, I was very demotivated because my marks had just dropped significantly, and when you know that you're capable of doing more and you're not able to do it, that hurts. So during that time I was demotivated, and there were two very clear options, either to continue or to give up. Now I did think of giving up, but then I thought, what would giving up give me? Just some more months of preparation where I could take another break. It's pointless. Rather just sit, give the effort, and then let whatever happens happen to you. So I would say keep putting in consistent efforts. Talking about CH, especially in S1, I was introduced to Akash sir, who has been a very, very important part of my preparation. As people, we need tough love, and as students, we need some tough teachers. Whatever Akash sir says, it might sound unbelievable, or it might sound something alien to do, or something way higher than your expectations, or sometimes he may be on a pace that is double yours. He may be moving very fast and you would be very slow, but just listen to him. It is my personal guarantee that he knows what he's saying, and he will always say things that will benefit you. He will always suggest things that will benefit you. Follow what he says. And Saurabh sir, he has been, I would say, like my spine, or my biggest help during the whole CAT process, because I do have my moments of highs and lows, and you need somebody with that patient, stable and calm temperament to keep talking to you, to keep motivating you. Also, don't trouble your teachers that much as I did. But yeah, you need your teachers in life. And talking about Abbas sir, who has also been a great help to me. Abbas sir, with his very comforting energy and very relaxed energy, he taught me maths. He made me like maths. He made me want to solve maths. I remember there were some classes in which I would be solving questions at a faster speed than everybody else, and for me to feel that high, it made me want to do better. You need that sort of inspiration to want to do better. So these three teachers have been a major help to my CAT preparation. Another thing I would say is take some time out for possible breaks during your preparation. So don't just give yourself one exact year for preparation. I would say just join a couple months before at least, and you would have some decent time so that if your brother's wedding comes around, you can take a break. And one thing that I really like about CH that I have noticed, I live in a city where there are a lot of coachings for CAT, and there are always options, as we like to call them. So the thing about CH is, they remember your name. no matter who you go to, they remember your name, they remember who you are. I have seen a lot of, it's amazing to have coachings with a lot of people. It's amazing to have that kind of competitive energy around you. Okay, but for getting guidance, you need to be able to contact your teacher. If your teachers are always busy handling a huge mass of student, you cannot get that. Secondly, when it comes to the GDPR preparation, you really need your teachers, because CAT is one part of the journey and GDPR is, I would say, 3 parts of the journey. It requires a lot of efforts. So having your teachers around, having your teachers listen to you when you call them, if they're available, even for, nobody is free, but even if they can take out those 5 minutes for you, that is very important. Those 5 minutes can be very important for whatever thing you are doing, whatever questions you have. I have seen my friends in other coachings right now. I would tell you an instance of a friend of mine. He missed booking his interview slot by 1 day, and the whole week slot were booked, and now he has to book his mock interview slot for the next week. In CH, there are people who would listen to you. CAT is very important in your career journey, and for you to have people that listen to you when you need, and to be able to remember your name, to be able to remember your history, it's very important. So go wherever it suits you, but for me, I think CH was my best choice. And CAT, I would say, just keep putting in consistent efforts. It will pay you back. Believe in the process, not in the results. It is a quote, I know, but it is true. Lastly, I would say, do as your teacher says, attend your classes, and just be regular. Thank you, CH.